All right, let's subtract some rational numbers. We've been adding. Let's subtract now. What you're seeing right here is the page in your journal, your interactive notebook, I should say. This would be page 24. Now we're going to give it a title of Subtracting Rational Numbers, which I did not write here, but you can see it right there. So that would be the title that goes across the top line. Our I can statement, the thing we're trying to accomplish, is I can solve problems that involve subtracting rational numbers. So we've done addition, now we're subtracting. And a few of the notes says when you subtract numbers, you find the difference between their values. Well, of course, you knew that. To subtract, to make subtraction easier, you can change the problem to an addition problem. It says number 1, change the subtraction sign to an addition sign, and number 2, change the sign of the number being subtracted. We'll take a look at how to do that. And then 3, follow the addition rules and solve. So we already have a page on this where we have written down addition and the subtraction rules. I believe that page in your interactive notebook is on page 18. As I'm looking through mine, yes, it is page 18. Still have a couple of things to finish on that, multiplying and dividing, which of course you know are coming up. Now, pause the video, write all this in your notebook, leave room at the bottom because the page that I gave you, the little booklet that I gave you that has the subtraction problems on it, we're going to solve those and stick those down at the bottom. So here we go. First one that we are solving is 15 minus a negative 12. Okay, well, let's look back at our notes. Let's see what it says to do. It says change the subtraction sign to an addition sign and change the sign of the number being subtracted. So I'm going to keep the 15. Oop, I don't want to type right there. I do want to draw. I'm going to change the subtraction sign to addition and change the sign of the number being subtracted. So it's a negative 12. So I'm going to change it to a positive 12. Okay, so this looks kind of like it shouldn't work, but it does. Because if you're minusing negative, you're actually adding a positive. So this is going to be 27. Okay. So in this case, the addition rule that we used after we changed it to an addition problem was we added and we kept the sign of both numbers. Okay, so let's take a look at the next problem. Negative 23 minus 17. Now this problem right here, this messes people up a lot, but if you write it as an addition problem, it's much, much easier. So I keep negative 23. I change the sign from subtraction to addition, and the number back there is 17. So I'm going to change that to a negative 17. And what I see is what I was meant to see all along. This problem is really negative 23 plus a negative 17. So since I've got the same signs, what we're going to do is we are going to add and keep the sign. So in this case, we are going to add and then keep signs. Okay. So 23 plus 17, if I add those, is going to be, let's see, that's going to be 10, 40. So this is going to actually be a negative 40. So a negative 23 and a negative 17 together are negative 40. Okay. Next problem. 11.65 minus 14.08. Okay, I'm going to keep my 11.65, change the subtraction to addition, and change the other number, the last number, from a positive to a negative. Okay, so actually what I've got is 11.65 plus a negative 14.08. So the rule that I'm going to use here, because I have different signs, I'm going to subtract. And I'm going to keep the sign of the larger number. So I'm going to go, it's going to be a negative sign. Okay, so what I'm actually doing is I'm just going to line it up 14.08 and 11.65. Not going to worry about negative sign because I already know my answer is negative. It's already negative. Know that for sure. So there's 3 there. Going to have to do some regrouping. There's 4. And then 13 take away 11 is only going to leave 2. So it is a negative 2.43. Because remember, we had to keep the sign, which was negative, or keep the sign of the larger number, which was negative. So it is a negative 2.43. Okay. My final problem down here that I've got to get done is negative 14 1/3 minus a negative 17 3/4. Okay, well, I'm going to change it to an addition problem. So that would be a negative 14 1/3 plus a positive 17 3/4. So what I'm actually doing here is I am actually going to be adding. Doesn't look like it at first, but I'm actually going to be, I'm sorry, not going to be adding. I'm going to be subtracting because it's a negative 14 and a positive 17. 2 different signs, so I am actually going to subtract. And looking right here, it looks like I will keep the sign of the larger number, which was going to be a positive sign. Now, of course, you don't have to put positive, but there we go. Okay, so this one right here, if I change it to an improper fraction, would be 43/3 plus 71/4. Now I'm actually going to go to another screen here so that I have enough room to get this done for you, because otherwise I'm just plain running out of room. You should have enough room in your booklet because I did in mine. So what we had was a negative 43/3 plus 71/4. Now to get a common denominator, multiply over here by 4/4 and by here by over here by 3/3, because my least common multiple is 12. So this is a negative 172/12 plus 213/12. So now what I'm actually doing is I'm subtracting, remember? So if I did 213 minus 172, I'm going to get, so 17 plus 4, so that would be 41/12, which means it is going to be 3 5/12. And remember, we're keeping a positive sign, so this is my answer. All right. Good luck doing your own.